Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to Crafting with Lola and Oscar. So I thought I would do something a little different, and I went to the dollar store because that dollar store is our friend, right? So I went to the dollar store and I found these absolutely adorable easels, and I've had them for a little while and I couldn't figure out what to do with them until the other day. And so I'm going to recreate this, but I'm going to do something a little bit different and I'm going to use the rainbow that's in the collection this time. So I've done this one, and let me see if you can see it that way. I think it's so cute, and I put a little sentiment on it. And it's just absolutely adorable. And if you wanted to, I was trying to figure out a creative way to put a card in the back. And I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I would have to put, it would be in the back, maybe attached here, and it would lay over, still at an angle, so it can still lay flat if you put it into a box, but then when you pick it up like that, the card and whatever you want to write would be on the back. Now you'd have to put that clearly on there before you glue it on. I haven't kind of figured that out, but let's go forward using this cute little die. Dancing in the Rain is what she's actually called. And what I did is when I went to the dollar store, I had this one. I bought this one, which is kind of like a brown one, and then I bought one that was almost like a the word is right on me, but I cannot think. A whitewash color one. So here's the whitewash colored one. I'm gonna move this to the side. The only thing that we're gonna use in the collection this time, again, is we're going to use the little girl and we're going to use a rainbow this time. The wordage is going to be a little bit different. So what I've done is, let's see. So a couple of things that you're going to need. You're going to obviously need some of your markers. I have all kinds here because I'm going to be using them all probably. And unlike the last one that I created, I stamped it very lightly. Let me put this over here. I stamped it. Oop, my rainbow. I stamped it, right? With just some ink. Doesn't matter what kind it is. Alcohol. This is alcohol proof. And I'm using flagstone because I don't want it to be too dark. But then I also went over the entire stamp, each one of the stamps, with this fine line pen. Now, what I'm thinking about doing this time, because I'm going to be using the rainbow, I'm still going to probably stamp her and go over her with the fine line pen, but with this one, with the rainbow, I'm going to do it with the colors. So remember I told you how these fine, what are these things called? Art liner. I'm sorry, art liner, and it is a fine pen. They come in different colors, as you can see. So you can get like 3 blacks, or then you can get the whole set of colors. Yeah, so I think that is the plan. So I'm going to put these to the side, and then I'm going to and then I'm kind of missing it. Also, after I use my markers and such, I use some glossy accent to give it a little bit of dimension. Stamped and hot glued my little sentiment on. And then I hot glued my little boots on. So that's what I did with that one. So the only difference in this one is, and I'm sorry, and then I also edged around the sides with some brown ink. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna do it with this one. Once I get there, I'll know. So the first thing, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and position my little girl like I did before. And I don't want her to be too far down because then the sentiment is gonna cover up her feet. So I definitely want her up a little bit ways, and I want to try and put as much as her and her little umbrella between these two lines. And that really is great because it helps centers it as well as her little dress. So I'm going to bring her up just a little bit. And then the rainbow, I don't want it to be like that. I kind of want it to be like this. Yeah. But see, then we have all this here. So we have a lot of landscape. So I might end up, I don't know, maybe cutting out some little doves or something. I'm going to do something because see, that's a lot of empty space right there. Not too sure. But right now, I want to just get this centered to make sure It's high enough. And I'll kind of look at the other one and see where I put it. I think I'll bring it up a little bit more. I want it to be high enough, and I wanted to make sure it's centered. So I can definitely get all of her dress in. There is going to be a little part of her umbrella that's sticking out, and that's okay. It doesn't look like it's straight though. Okay, so let's put her on first. Now I'm going to use a what's called a rocker block. Normally I use a stamping pad, but I'm just going to use a rocker block in this instance. So I'm going to go ahead, flush this down. So what I'm doing is putting this down to the very edge of this little section right here. And then I'm going to center that stamp. Is that, yeah, it's centered in between. Okay. And then I'm going to press down as much as I can to make sure the stamp is totally on. Totally on. Okay, well. And then I'm going to take some of them. Again, this is just some of the Spectrum Noir Finesse alcohol proof, and this is Flagstone. It's a little bit, it's like a light gray, dark light gray kind of. I don't want it to be real dark, but even though it's light, it still ends up, once you put it on the paper, it's still dark. Now the main thing with this is, once you stamp, you can't go back and fix it. Unlike with the stamping thing, you can just keep going over it. Here, I gotta make sure, I wanna make sure this entire stamp is covered with ink, because I don't want any double stamping, because then I'll mess up my little thing. Then I'd be very, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be a little upset. Now, it doesn't look like there's a lot of ink on here now. I know that. Of course, I got a whole bunch of it on my hands. Look at that. But I want to make sure, and I might even put some of that darker ink, like the embossing ink on. Now, I know I'm going to go over this with my art liner pens, but still I want to make sure that everything is, you know, that the whole stamp came out on the wood. So when I start drawing over it, you know, everything is there, instead of me coming up with something on my own. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so now we're going to come back. We're going to bring this here. And we're not rocking too much. We're just putting it down and then pressing on it and believing that everything's going to work out. All right, now I want to get over this a little bit. Now I have no other choice but to commit. Okay, so I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm going to rock a little bit, just to make sure everything is imprinted onto this wood. Okay. And there we go. Okay, great. All right, so there she is. So now let's go ahead and put the rainbow on. So I'll take this off. Excuse me. And wait, okay, here's the rainbow. Now I want to decide where I really want this rainbow. I think that's good, man. I didn't want it to be up too high. I kind of want that to look silly, so I really wanted it at an angle. I think, Yeah, we're gonna go with that one. I think we'll go with that. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna flush it up against this and against here. So I have like a reference point, so to speak. So against here and against over here. And I'll put my rocker block on. I think the stamp is there. Okay. We'll do the same thing with this. Now, my plan is to go over this and actually use my little colored pens. All right, let's see. And again, put my finger right here, lining it up. Putting it about right there. And I think that's it because I have to commit now. I'm going to turn it. All right. See, but I think I can make that work. I'm a little nervous about it. But that's okay. It has a little double, but it's not really bad. That's not really bad. All right, so we're all done with the stamping. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over this, and I'm gonna need my glasses. I'm gonna go over all of this with my black ink pen, this one, and again, like I said before, we're gonna use the color one. So here's where you're gonna need your glasses. And we're gonna obviously ramp this part of the video up because, you know, let's face it, you'll be pretty bored if I didn't, right? And now for the rainbow. So I'm going to bring in my colored art liners, and we're going to start with the first one, which is red. And I'm going to do this upside down for me. And I'm going to see if this works well. Now this red almost looks pink. So I think what I am going to do is, instead of using this pen, let's try and use my Tri-Blend red, dark red. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and finish coloring this rainbow. Using an assortment of my pens and my markers. Pens and my markers. Okay, so The rainbow is all done, but I think I am going to go over it with my black liner pen. So we're going to go ahead and go over that. I think just around the edges. To make it a little bit more defined. Oh gosh, I think I messed up. I think I'm gonna leave it alone. I think I'm gonna not mess with it anymore. I wanted to kind of go over each one, but I think I better not do that because it's kind of not in some places it's not quite even, so I kind of think I better leave that alone and not mess with it. All right, so what I did with the rainbow, the colors that I used, I again used obviously my black liner, art liner, and then I used a combination of my Spectrum Noir brush pens, Tri-Blend brush pens, which are the gray ones, and then my Tri-Blend pens, which are here in the black. So we use burnt orange, I used some citrus yellow, some dark red. Here I use the pink violet. That's the pink violet, the lavender. Which one did I use? Oh, I think I used the True Blue, the light green, and then I used, oh yeah, and I covered, my yellow wasn't really that dark here, so I just used this one to make it much darker. So next, what I want to do, and I'm hoping, my desire is to, oh, you know what, actually we'll do her umbrella next. Let's do the umbrella next. And I want to kind of mimic, I normally do it myself, but I kind of want to mimic what's here this time. And then the last one, oh, you know what, that should have been this, but that's fine. We'll do the blue. We'll do a blue. Let's see. So it's not quite like the packaging, but it's close enough. Okay, so the umbrella is all done. So again, I used a combination of my pens. And I'll probably have to go over this purple because that purple looks terrible. That purple looks a mess. Which one did I use? All right, so we have that there. So the next thing is doing her dress. Now again, because I kind of wanted to go with the packaging, what the packaging looks like, I just thought I would try it this time. This is not quite purple. So it's not quite this purple. Put all these to the side. Let's try the Crafter's purple. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with some lightness at the bottom. And the same thing at the bodice. I'm going to come in with that medium color. Now this is Crafter's Purple. Crafter's Companion, sometimes they come out with certain color pens during certain times. It'll just be one pen and one different shades of their brand, which is brand color, which is purple. So there's Crafter's Purple. Then there was another one they came out with, I think it was Pink Violet or something like that, or Crafter's something. And when you buy a certain amount during that time, they would always give you this one of a kind, quote unquote, pen. So that's kind of like what that's about. Okay, that's not quite dark enough. Let's see. Now hers was it's a little bit darker. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. This isn't quite it. Let's see if this is it. Now I want to keep some of the lightness in. It's not quite like the packaging, but it is close enough. Okay, so that we have that effect. Okay, so what I did is I used two different purples. So I used both brush pens. One was the Crafter's Purple blend and then the Pink Violet. Okay. Now she made her little bow yellow or a mustard kind of color. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to pull another brush pen, and this is the golden yellow. Okay. Go a little bit darker. I'll just blend that in together. I don't really like that. I'm just kind of I have some white spots on here, so I want to kind of get those white spots off. Okay, and then with her top, I just always kind of like to make the top like a solid color. So I want to make sure I use the right one. Let's see. Let's go here and do this light. It's not quite that didn't quite work. Oh, but that's okay. We'll do that like that. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and make her little shoes brown. And then what I did, I have two browns here. And I have a red blend and I have an earth brown. Now, a lot of times the colors always look so much alike, but this is a good idea. Always have your little test strip. Okay, and the same thing with her. I want to make her like a little, I want to make her African American, so I'm going to use my red, not my earth because that's darker. I'm going to use my red brown, and I want to probably make her the lighter of the browns, because I can always go back in there and make her darker, but you can't fix it, you know, once you do it. So make sure I got her right. Okay, and I got the lightest one. So I'm going to go in and just put down, make her little legs brown. And then I'm going to go to the mid color. Just lightly go over a little bit, and then I'm going to blend it back in with the little, with the lightest color. Okay, there we go. Okay, and the same thing with her arms. I'm going to use this, the lighter red brown. Now notice that this wood, the colors take a little differently than on this wood compared to the other one I had. Just a little bit of the dark. And then reblend. It just seems like it didn't lay down as, it's laying down more rough. I don't know. Okay, so we got her legs and her arms. And then now I think what I'm going to do is I may make her shoes, black, because it'll be just a whole bunch of brown on top of it. So I'll go ahead and just make her little shoes black. Oh, is this purple? Oh, I'll make her shoes black. Lola, you need to get the right color, girl. Where's the black one? Okay, black. Okay. Messed up her legs. Oh, doggone it. Oh well. Okay, so that is that. Now this grain is very different. It's very different than this one here. This one, for some reason, it just seems like everything was smoother. It's just a whole different ball of wax. With that being said, I kind of want to take my, I hope I don't mess this up, but I kind of want to take my little daubers like this and actually put some blue in here for the sky. I'm hoping that I do not mess this up. So I'm going to go with the light. And I'm just going to go over this. Let's see how that works. So we have that there. And last but not least, so I just used, yeah, I think it's okay. I think it kind of looks cute. Now, what I could do is go in with a little bit of gray, maybe a little bit, but I think I kind of don't want to mess it up. And I don't have any, well, I probably have some gray, but I don't want to mess it up. So we have this all done. So the next thing what I would want to do is after I put my glossy accents on, which I'm going to cover this, and this will be overnight. And I'm going to put the glossy accents doing the same thing over all of it. And then I want to go ahead and put my sentiment. But so that you can see what I did with the sentiment, I just simply cut out, oh my goodness, what did I do? Oh, here it is. I cut out the saying that says, when it rains, look for rainbows. And we can always just put it right here. And I do want to kind of go over it a little bit with some kind of color. All the colors I put up. Let's see which one. So I'm going to take this pen. No, you know what? I think I'm going to... No, I think I'm going to take this. And I'm just going to go over it just like that. Simply like that. Just like that. And just like that. Okay. Like that. Then I want to, now unlike the other one, you can remember I put the little boots there. Really, really cute. I'm just going to take this one and I'm going to do a little, one of these little numbers here. Do a little bending. Not too much. And I'm going to put that in the center. Now this stamp does come with some little hearts. I don't know where the rest of the stamp is. What the sandblazers do I do with them? I don't know, but it does have like a little heart where the rainbow is. So I could cut out 2 little hearts and put 2 little hearts here. So I'm going to center this, but I am going to put down, I'm going to plug up my hot glue because I found that regular glue and everything else, it just won't stick on this wood. So just get your little hot glue gun like this. Doesn't have to be special. No downtown, special. And I'm going to glue on my sentiment, which is fine because it's not going to keep me from putting on the glossy accent. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hot glue this down. Come on now, don't mess me up. Try and get it in the center. That's one thing about this glue. Once it's on there, boy. Not playing, not playing. Okay. Put that in the center, on the bottom. And I have it doing a little bow instead of just being straight. Okay. And then the last thing I want to do is go ahead and use some glossy accents on this project. Let it sit. That one's cute. Not quite what I had in mind with the blue, but actually, and the rainbow do look a little, I don't know. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is until it can be better, okay? That is it. Okay, great. So we have that done, the axis. Now, the only thing to do now is simply wait. Okay, so there we have it. So the final project for this collection. And I'll let it lay flat and dry, of course. See if you can see it shining. There you go. Now once it shines up, once it dries up, it pretty much shines. It'll dry even, just like this one here. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.